Hi guys, welcome back to Foxy Box's map making with Sparks. I just realised that I've got a different skin on, which I don't think I'm allowed to show yet. So ignore it. Just look at the bucket. And welcome back indeed. So I've been pretty busy recently. Doing some stuff obviously for MindGauge, which is my main job in 1.7.10, and doing some stuff for WanderQuest in 1.8.8, and doing some stuff for Foxy Boxes in 15 week 36C. So I've been going through all sorts of versions, but I have been. Oh, by the way, the end of last episode, I go, that's about all the time we have for this, and then it cuts off. And that was not intentional. I had a lot of people congratulating me for a good joke, and it is the kind of editing thing that I would do, but in this case it was an accident, and there was more discussed in that episode, a couple more minutes of me basically talking about the fact that I'm starting work on the storyline for Foxy Boxes. And I have to say, for an accidental render cut, like sometimes Premiere Pro decides that the timing that I cut my previous video at should be where I cut the current video at for some reason. But anyway, the storyline is still kind of in the works, but it's getting there. Crazy Man is helping me with it. He's a pretty good writer himself. I've been talking to CDF a bit about it as well. But I'd like you to meet Raposa as a child. So this is my armor stand block model fetus for growing our character for one of the beginning cutscenes that I'm planning. I only did one eye because it's only designed to be seen from this side, but it's sort of a little fetus model that I've made by stacking armor stands holding blocks together. I think it looks not too bad, to be honest. But I may have to turn this into a block model because I want to do all the camera panning in game mode 3, and you can see the armor stands. It's really, really annoying. Another interesting, strange behavior for this stuff is that armor stands cause bubbles if they're underwater. Look at this. Oh, it's not happening now. Why not? Do I need more water? That's weird. Last time I tried this, they were bubbling, like a lot. But either way, the issue is still that the arm stands are visible in game mode 3, which is not a good thing, really. I can't pick this. There we go. Okay, so, yeah, anyway. Oh, look, they're bubbling now. There we go. Bubble, bubble, bubble. But I think it looks kind of interesting. I've got a bit of a dark story planned. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes. And it's all good. So today, let's just once and for all, we're gonna fix this. We're gonna fix this box problem. I think I know how to solve it. I talked about how I was gonna solve it in the last episode, but it was cut out the end. So I'm just gonna basically do it off camera because I think I've fiddle farted around enough on camera with trying to get the box interactions to work, and I think I know how I'm gonna do it now. So I'm going to say, basically the way I'm going to do it is with item frames. So item frames align themselves to the edge of a block. So no matter where I'm stood in a block, when I summon an item frame, it will always align itself to the edge of the block. So what I'm going to try to do is basically decide what crate the player is under using armor stands, using item frames. So I just need to quickly find out what distance item frames no longer render at. And when I know that, then I can make a start on this, and then I'll be right back. Wow, they render from quite a distance. If you look at the very bottom left of the screen, you can see it's still there. You get a bit of a zoom in the corner of the screen, so I check like this. But I think maybe that's far enough away that you won't be able to see them in the sky anyway. So I don't know. I guess I'll make it like... I'll try like 30 blocks above the player or something, and we'll see. Because the higher we make it, the less high the maximum box height can be. Because the item frame will not be summonable if you are too high in the air. Okay, so last episode, the problem we were having is that I was breaking both of the crates when I was stood under them, even though one of them was tagged not to break. But the fact that they were both breaking is something we were actually aiming for earlier. Now, up here you can see what I've done with the item frames. So this is my solution to the problem, which actually also fixes one of the other problems we had earlier, where if you landed on the edge of a block like this, it wasn't breaking. So the way this works, and I'm probably going to raise the height of these item frames up quite a bit later, but just for demonstrative purposes, is I'm summoning an armor stand called CI. Let me just make it visible for you guys. This is similar to the rising armor stand we had before, and you can see that it's not directly above me. It's slightly in the positive X. It's 0.3 in the positive X to be exact. So if I just show you something quickly, if I teleport myself here and put a block here again, if I teleport myself 0.1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6, and then 7, and then 8, and then 9, and I have no idea what I was trying to prove just then. But basically, ignore that. I thought that something else would happen, but it didn't. I don't really know why. So if I'm still on this block, right, this armor stand, I'm summoning an item frame directly above me, and the item frame is snapping to my position, to the center of this block. This armor stand here is 0.3 blocks off. So when I move sideways, even though I'm not actually in this block yet over here, this armor stand is above this block. It's considered to be over this threshold line right here because it's 0.3 blocks offset from me. And this armor stand is summoning item frames around it. So as soon as I move far enough this way, we will see a second armor stand being summoned. That's because this armor stand here is summoning a block, an item frame in the same block as itself, which is actually this block here. So if I break this right now, I will not fall because I'm on the very edge of this block. So you can see I can shift and I'm going as far as I can without falling off. As soon as I fall off, it vanishes. I can push against it and I've still only got one armor stand. As soon as I jump up on it, it goes, oh, you have that block under you. So this works for all the directions, including the diagonals. So I can be on the very edge of this block. And you can see this armor stand right here is saying that there is something breakable right here. Or that I'm occupying that space. So this really solves our jumping problem. And what we're going to do is, I'm going to move the breaking responsibility away from the player and onto the crate itself. I'm going to do this for two reasons. First of all, if the crate is responsible for breaking itself, then other things other than the player can break the crate. For example, an explosion. And secondly, this thing here, I've noticed has locked on, has frozen on several times now. I think it's because the set block is on the other side of the repeater. I might just try moving this here, like that, and just waiting to see what it does, because maybe that'll fix it, but it basically means that different types of crate could launch players at different heights. I may move it away from this and actually do the timer thing we discussed before, because this this block here is being set to a redstone block and then it's not being reset. So all the execution is going to happen. The player is going to execute on the item frames to execute on the block below the item frame to tell the block whether it needs to break or not, is basically what's going to happen. That's the plan. I'm going to move these item frames up a little bit so you can't see them so well. I wonder whether I can just texture item frames to be invisible. That might come back to bite me if I want to use them for something else, though. This is 30 blocks above the player. What the? In the latest snapshot, you can tab complete UUID names. That is very weird. And apparently there are only 3 entities in the world. That's not right either. What? Okay. So apparently there are 3 crates in the world. I only see 2. I don't know where the third one is. It might be one of the random ones over here. But we are adding 0 to a new objective called break state constantly for all crate entities. And we over here are executing on any player who's in the air. So this is for jumping underneath the crate, to execute on the frame as if it was 38 blocks lower than it is, which is the block above the player's head, to set any armor stand's break state score to 0. I should add a name here. Name equals crate. which has a break state score of 0. So I'm going to do it by state. So 0 means not broken. 1 means needs to be broken. 2 means has been broken but hasn't been saved by a checkpoint. And 3 is broken, is saved by checkpoint, I think. So it'll only set their break score to 1 if it was 0. And if it's within 0 blocks of the item frame, which is thinks it's 38 blocks lower than it is. So I'm just going to reset this actually. Wood. Okay, so there are 3 crates. Okay, so if I jump under here, both of these should get a score of 1. Nope. Okay, so it's the very end of this command that's causing the problem. Scoreboard player set at E, type equals armor stand, score break state equals 0, radius equals 0, name equals crate, break state 1. I wonder if radius equals 0 is messing it up. Boop. Hey, okay. Good to know. I wonder why radius equals 0 isn't working. Maybe my offset is wrong. It's, oh god, maths. It's 40 blocks above me, and it's executing as if it was 38 blocks above me. So 40 is my feet, 39 is my head, and 38 is the block above me, right? I'm just gonna try changing this to 0 and trying 37 and 39. No, 38 is right. It just doesn't... like radius equals 0. That's kind of weird. If I jump right here... ah, no. I'm not supposed to be breaking that. It's the bloody radius equals 1 thing again, isn't it? I wonder if it's because item frames are technically on the very edge of the block. Maybe I need to execute on them as if they were like a little bit over. While we're at it, we're going to add the tag equals not no head, which should mean that because one of these is designed not to be smashed from below, this will now only add 1 to one of them. Not quite sure what happened there. I think I was flying when I walked under it, and boop. Yeah, so now only the one we're allowed to break is actually getting the break score, which is cool, which is this one on the side here. But if I jump over here, nothing happens. Yeah, sweet. Okay, so I've got an item frame over here called I, and I'm executing on it to tell everyone within 0 blocks of it hi. And as soon as I get this close, it executes. So radius equals 0 does work on item frames. I don't understand what's going on. Okay, so this is executing on the item frames to summon smoke at -40. This is 39, which is at my head. And this is 38, which is what I have it set to, which is the block above my head. So they should really be like in there smoking with. So that seems to be within. They should be within 0 blocks of each other there, I swear. Yeah, that's right. So it's now directly above me. So I'm going to try doing the execute 0.5 in the Z as well and see if that fixes this. Oh, come on! Come on! It's like they're in the same space as each other. What is wrong with it? What is its problem? They are executing on each other in the same space with a radius of 0. What is wrong with them? So this item frame here is seeing the armor stand with an R equals 0. Okay, I've moved the item frames directly above me now. So they are physically inside this block. There is no reason for this not to be working. Can I not execute on it in the same tick that it is born? Right, I'm putting a block here. I'm standing here. I am turning off the clock. The armor stand is there. The item frame is there. what happens if I now run this command? What? Nothing? Why? Works when I set the radius to 1. I wonder if it's because they're marker armor stands. Okay, so they're no longer markers. Does this now detect them? It does. Oh, come on. You can't detect armor stands with radius 0 checks. What the hell is wrong with this game? Okay. Wow, that took a long time to work out. Jeez. Okay, well, fine. Fine then. Let's change all these numbers back to how they were before then. Boop. You guys have no idea how annoyed I am right now. That is so annoying. Like, what? Like, what? Oh my, I've just spent like an hour or two on that problem. That is just ridiculous. So you cannot execute on marker armor stands with a radius equals 0 selector. What? Okay, so I should, by standing in the corner of all these crates, be able to set all of their scores to 1 in one go by jumping. 2 of them. Okay, well that's not quite what I was after. That's weird though, because there are 4 item frames there. Maybe it's because I didn't center these properly. There we go. Okay, so they have to be centered perfectly in these blocks for this to work. So I'm probably gonna have to make myself some special crate placing tools for building these levels, where I can place down the armor stand and it's automatically got all the data and teleports itself down one and stuff like that. And maybe sets a crate at itself and things like that. I'll make myself a little utility tool, which I guess I can probably release at some point as well. Oh my god, I'm so annoyed about that. But we've got it working now, so we can... Let's actually cause these crates to break a second, and then we'll quickly deal with jumping on top of them. And then I'd like to address some checkpointing stuff as well in this episode, because I think that's going to be kind of cool. Okay, so I'm currently resetting them by just... setting their break state to 0. So we've got our crates over here with our armor stands. We can make these invisible, and if we stand underneath and jump, all of them are broken. Beautiful. So I'm basically just executing on anything with a break state of exactly 1 to set block air, and then I'm setting anything with a break state of 1 score to 2. So 2 is the state where we've broken the crate, but we haven't hit a checkpoint. So if we die, we'll go back to the previous checkpoint and the crates will reappear. So that'll be part of our mechanics. So if you die and you are teleported back to the beginning point, like the previous checkpoint, then any crate with a break state of 2 will reset its crate at itself. But if you break a new checkpoint, then any crate with a break state of 2 will have its break state changed to 3, and then for the rest of that game, for the rest of the level, it will be completely broken, and if you die, it will remain broken. That's the plan, and I think we're getting somewhere here. So I'm just going to quickly do the jumping on the crate bit as well, off camera. It's going to be pretty much what we've already covered. I'll run through my commands afterwards again. Okay, so this should work. Boop. Oh, that was beautiful. That was really beautiful. So this is very simply, it's pretty much the same as the other command, except 2 changes. Like, instead of checking whether they're in air and that's it, we check whether their velocity is 6 or more, so they're falling at a high enough speed. And then instead of executing at 38, we're checking at 41, which is the block below our feet. So that should work. And it's also checking... this one here is checking for the no head tag. This one here is checking for the no bounce tag. So if we have no bounce set on a crate, then it won't break. I might change that to no feet, actually. So no feet. And then we can have a separate tag for no bounce, which means that you land on the crate, but it doesn't catapult you. I think that would be kind of cool. So certain kinds of crate won't cause you to bounce when you land on them. So that's just... So it does launch me. It's making me jump when I hit them. And if we hit... let me go over here and I'm gonna have to reset these. I don't know where that final crate is, by the way. I'm just gonna set these up again. And just gonna check if I jump on just this corner one, it shouldn't break any of the others. It did break the others. I think we're just slightly technically in that space there. It's a bit annoying that we can't even make marker armor stands for this, because the piston crates are gonna push their armor stand when you step on it. So we may have to think about a way of stopping that happening, because otherwise the crate's gonna push. That's interesting. I didn't. It did make me bounce. Okay. I have to keep an eye on that, but I think it's good. I think it's good. So we've now moved the... hang on, I'm going to hold something else. We've moved the braking responsibility from the player to the crate, which means the crate has a lot more control and other things can cause the crates to break, which I think is pretty good. We've got the crates set up in a checkpoint kind of manner. So for example, say we died right now, I could execute at E, name equals crate, score, break state, min equals 2, score, break state, min equals 2, set block, furnace. So if I power this, all the furnaces will come back. Apparently these do not have that tag. That's weird. And I suppose if their brake is reset, they should have their brake set back to 0. So we'll move this to here as well, like so. So we've got a crate here, and this one can be broken from below. This one can't be broken from below, but it can be broken from above. What we'll do with this information, I do not know, but that's kind of sweet. And these are now technically broken, but if somebody dies, we can set the crates back at their location. We can probably target them via tag as well to work out what kind of block they are. If we give them like a block ID to determine if we have different crate textures and things, what kind of crate should appear there. But that's pretty cool. Let's look at some checkpoints, I guess. Okay, I probably spent more time on this than I should have, but I've got the crystal model I made a while ago, and I created a new broken crystal model. Not particularly happy with either of them, to be honest, but they would be kind of cool checkpoint style things. So you jump on these and it checkpoints you, and it turns it in from the green one into one of these to show that you have used it. Feel free to come up with a nicer crystal model. I feel like this should be modelled on something with a smaller hitbox as well. It's pretty funny if you throw it on the ground. It kind of sinks out of sight. I don't know. I mean, I think to have like transparency like this, the model has to be a transparent block. So I don't know, like a alpha transparent supporting block. So I don't know if there's an option for that. But anyway, I'm going to use these for today. While changing that, for some reason, all of my stained block textures have lost their fox texture. I've broken it somehow. If you know how to fix it, you can look at the block models in the video description. So let's go over to our test level over here and set up 2 checkpoints and some stuff to do with them. Okay, so I've added a few break conditions. So we've got this only destroys sets air if the tag of the arm stand is not checkpoint, and this one here sets block glass if the tag is checkpoint. And over here we also only set block of furnace there if it's not a checkpoint, which will change later, but for now there's only furnaces and checkpoints. And I need to put a thing here which sets the block state of checkpoints to 3, so that if you die, they don't reappear. So if their break state is 2 and their tag equals checkpoint, then it sets their break state to 3, meaning that they have checkpointed. If there's a we need to set the break state first. So before we take this, and before we set their break state to 2, so a bit lower than I was aiming for, but whatever. So first we add 0 to the break state. If their break state score is 1 and they are not a checkpoint, we set the block to air. If their break state is 1 and they are a checkpoint, we set glass. Then if they are a checkpoint, we set all the armor stands with a break state score of 2 to 3. Okay, we add 0 to the break state score of any crate. Any not checkpoint crate we set to air if their score is 1 exactly. If they are a checkpoint, then we set grey glass at their location. If it's a checkpoint armor stand with a break state of 1, meaning it's just been broken, then it sets any armor stand with a break state score of 2 to have a break state score of 3. Any armor stands with a break state score of 1 are set to a break state score of 2, and then if they are a checkpoint armor stand with a score of 2, that's set to 3. So checkpoints always automatically go from 0 to 3 in that process. So that's cool. I've set up a couple of crates over here, and we're going to have to simulate death at some point. So we've got... Right, let's just try this out then. So if I go over here, this is our first crate right here, and we have another crate here, and then we have a checkpoint just for now placed right here. Ignore all the little glass checkpoints down here. You'll see there's an armor stand inside it as well. As far as the game's concerned, it's a crate. We might give it a no bounce tag at some point, I don't know. So right now, if I first of all set all armor stands break state to 0, and I jump on this guy, boop, it's got a score of 2. Now if we were to reset the map, if we were to die, I'm gonna set up some death simulating redstone a second. Alright, so this is all very temporary, but first of all I'm gonna add I've added a checkpoint scoreboard. So we're going to, if somebody dies, we're going to set the checkpoint score of all checkpoints to 0 first. By the way, death in this game is not a Minecraft death. We don't see the you died screen, the respawn screen, anything like that. It's just they're basically teleported back to their previous checkpoint, potentially with a death animation. So scoreboard players set at E, tag equals checkpoint, type equals armor stand, checkpoint 0. So if we simulate a death, and then scoreboard objective set display sidebar checkpoint, we should see, okay, there are no crystals in range right now. Let me quickly create one so we can check this. Okay, let's try that again. Alright, so it's been given a score of 0, and then the closest checkpoint to the player... Oh, hang on. This is not for death. This is for breaking the checkpoint. This goes over here. We need to put this over here. We need two blocks before this lot. So put those here. And then we're gonna put this here. Oh, hang on, here. And after that, we're going to set the closest checkpoint to the player, or specifically this one here. This one here is going to have its score set to 1. Okay, so we now have 2 checkpoints here. If I break this one, it should get a score of 1. Okay, I'm setting the wrong kind of glass, apparently. I want to set data value of 7. What am I setting? Huh. It is setting class 7 anyway, so it doesn't have a checkpoint score of 1 though. Oh, I'm setting the break state to 3 before I set the checkpoint info. That's why this one needs to go to the other side of these two. Okay, let's try it. So when I jump on this crystal here... Oh, it set it back to 0. Oh, I need to specify a score here. Okay, so now it'll only change the score to 0 if it has a break score of 3. So let's try it. Doink. Okay, 1. And then if I jump on this one, it should remove the score from that one and put it over here instead. So the top one is ending in 4B. So if I jump here... Okay, it hasn't set the other one to 0. Scoreboard, objective, set display, sidebar. Break point, break state is... I think I said break point. Yeah, break state. Okay, so one more try. Okay, I got it. I needed to use a conditional statement. So if it successfully sets the checkpoint score to 1 of a checkpoint armor stand, then it sets the checkpoint value of any checkpoint with a break state of 3, which means it's already been broken to 0. So this way, we will have to manually, at the reset, which I think is this line here, set them all to 0 at the very beginning. So scoreboard players set E. Okay, so in the reset we set the score to 0 using this, and then it doesn't matter that they're grey, they think they're green, so we can jump on this, boop, and you can see that the one ending in 4B is currently the checkpoint, and if I stand on this one, it's going to change to the one with a 35, is the one with a score of 1. So this way we can, when the player dies, teleport them to whichever armor stand has the score of 1. So once we die, we can basically TP the person to the armor stand with this checkpoint score of 1. Okay, so right now if we die, which I'm going to simulate by executing this, nothing's going to happen to us because we have no checkpoint. If I jump on this one here, like so, then and then I die, it's going to teleport me to that checkpoint. There we go. And if I jump on this one, boing, then it's going to teleport me to that one when I die. Yeah, that was correct. And then I can reset them like so. So that seems pretty good. We have a checkpoint system working, and the crates should be updated as well. Let me set up a quick crate over here. I ended up not using the level over there because this involves less running around. Okay, let's take a look at this then. So I've got a crate here. I currently do not have any checkpoint. I'm gonna break the crate like that, and now I'm gonna die. So I'm not going to get teleported because I don't have a checkpoint. This would take me back to the beginning of the level, I suppose. I'll have a checkpoint armor stand at the very beginning. But the crate was reset because I had not saved it. That was weird. It didn't... I think the crate may think it's already been broken. I think I need to reset its its score. Yeah, I currently just set a checkpoint there. So I need to set the break state to 0 if its break state is 2. Score break state min equals 2. Score break state equals 2. So, gonna die again quickly. Right, so if I jump on it now, it broke it. If I die, it resets it. If I break it again, and then break a checkpoint, and then break this crate here, this crate should not come back, and this crate should come back, because this is a breakpoint of a score of 3. So I'm going to die now. Both of them came back. Okay, what's going on? Okay, I'm going to try that again. I'm jumping on this guy, gives it a score of 2. I jump on this guy, which gives it a score of 3. And then I die, which is resetting the furnace. Why? It's still got a score of 3. Or is that this? I think it's still getting set to 0. Oh, this command is broken. I have 2 commands inside it. I must have forgotten to delete one of them. So now, if I die, it won't come back. There we go. So I'm just going to fully reset that. I'm going to check this. Okay, so it's reset. I have no checkpoint. I break this crate. Boop. I jump on this checkpoint, which sets my spawn there and saves the fact I've broken this crate. Now I break this crate here, but I don't save the fact I've broken it, and then I die. Great, now this one doesn't get a crate. Ah. Okay, I had to add another conditional here. So if it sets the checkpoint score of 1, then as before it sets the checkpoint score of 0 for all the others, and then if that succeeds as well, which it should do, it will set the break state of this. This will only succeed if... I need to swap them around. Alright, break the crate. Save the crates. Die. Break but don't save. Die. This crate is not here. This crate is here. Break this crate again. Save. Die. All crates still broken. Okay, I think it's working. So we've got a checkpointing system and a crate break saving system. That's pretty cool. This won't do anything anymore because it's a dud. It's a broken crate, a broken crystal. That's pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up here because this has been a crazy episode. But we've got so much done today. We solved that crate problem and we've added a checkpointing system, which is fantastic. If you can come up with a pretty checkpoint crystal and a broken version of it, let me know. And if you know why these no longer render as little fox heads, do let me know as well, because I'm a bit confused about that. Thank you very much for watching, as always. Next episode, would you like to... what would you like me to do? Let me know below. I'm tempted to start looking at the storyline a little bit in the game. Or we could work on some hub mechanics for joining levels. Or we could do something else. I don't know what you guys want to see next. I don't want to, I want to mix it up a little bit. But see what you guys would like me to do. So I'll see you next time. Bye.